Hey, welcome to Broken World Entertainment. And if you saw my last video about Sleepy Hollow being rebooted from writer Lindsay Anderson Beer, I said they had another story. And this is the story, as she has claimed that the fourth Calvin Timeline Star Trek movie is still moving forward. Yeah, I doubt it. But we'll have a look. So the Enterprise may yet take flight on the big screen for a fourth adventure in the final frontier. A fourth Star Trek movie featuring the Calvinverse crew introduced in J.J. Abrams' 2009 reboot has been stuck in development hell for years at this stage, and while those involved with the project have often assured fans that Paramount Pictures hasn't completely abandoned the movie, our last update wasn't a particularly optimistic one. And that update was the Zachary Quinto one where he's like, yeah, we don't know what's going on. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of different agendas in there. Which was basically, this director was added, walked away. This one then was added, walked away. And they were all walking away because they were like, this is the movie we want to make. No, that's too Star Trek. Okay, this is the movie they want to make. No, that's too more Star Trek. And all sorts of crap. But it continues. The different agendas quote, which Zachary Quinto gave, is likely a reference to the sheer amount of ideas that have been considered and creative teams that have been attached to do the Star Trek Beyond follow-up over the years. One early concept would have focused on a reunion between Chris Pine's Captain Kirk and his father, played in '09 by Thor actor Chris Hemsworth. And there was even an R-rated take from Quentin Tarantino in the works at one point. Despite all of the roadblocks Star Trek 4 has been faced with, it seems the film is still moving forward. Here's what writer Lindsay Anderson Beer had to say to Collider while promoting her new horror prequel, Pet Sematary Bloodlines. It's still on the tracks, she responded when asked if a fourth movie was ever going to happen. I love that project, and it's another one that I had to hop off of to direct this movie. And that was a hard thing to do. But I love everybody involved with that project. Encouraging, but as far as we know, the film is still without a director since Matt Shakman departed the project to helm Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four reboot. And I'm pretty sure he's off the Fantastic Four reboot as well. I think. I might be wrong on that one, but I think I heard that he left. Or else it was the person he replaced. I'm not sure. So many people are jumping ship from Marvel. So, in his last interview on the subject, Shakman said that even though his Trek movie would have been a large tentpole film, he believes the universe is better suited to a slightly smaller budget. And here's what he said. I actually think that the way forward on a Star Trek movie is maybe to make one that's like $30 to $50 million. That's hard sci-fi, aimed right at the fans. In our day and age now, anytime you go to space in a movie, it's expensive. Even if you're flying around in the Enterprise, even if you're going to land and be in one place for a long time, it's still pretty expensive. Right. He's not wrong about you having to get the price down. A Star Trek movie shouldn't be costing over $100 million to make. But Paramount is never going to allow them now, especially with this version of Trek, to become back to being small and for the fans. They wanted to be Guardians of the Galaxy. They said they wanted to be Guardians of the Galaxy. But the idea that, oh, the budget's too big, that's why it hasn't happened. The idea that, oh, there's too many agendas, oh, there's too many ideas, there's too many creatives, there's this, there's that. No. The reason it hasn't happened, we all know the real reason. It's because A, Star Trek Beyond completely and utterly bombed at the box office. Pretty sure it actually cost Paramount money. And B, nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Nobody's been clamoring for another Star Trek Calvin timeline Jar Jar Abrams version. No one. And we may as well throw in a third option. Option C. None of the cast are contracted to do it. That's right. They still have not signed any contracts. And every time they're going to Chris Pine, he's like, yeah, I'll do it. Honour the contract that I signed for the amount I signed it for. That Paramount keep reneging on. So why would they do it? Nobody wants it. They would have to try and answer where Chekhov is after the unfortunate passing of Anton Yelchin. But other than that, who cares? It's like every 6-7 months down the road, a new story about a new Star Trek movie comes up. Star Trek shouldn't be on the big screen at this point. It should be back on the small screen. Not behind paywalls. It should be on our screens for free. Being proper, bright, optimistic, no language, no violence. True Star Trek. Star Wars, on the other hand, should be the one that's on the big screen, and Disney have managed to make that a small screen behind a paywall streaming show. Wow, times have changed for the shows and properties we loved, and not in a good way. But there you go. They're bullshitting us again with the whole, oh, no, don't worry. It's happening. It's not happening. It's never going to happen. Let it go. And with that, I'm going to let it go. And I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.